crank up the volume because you're about to enter the realm of rebels and rock stars. Unleashing the thunder from down under the stage. We're diving deep with the deviance of melody, rhythm, and chaos. Now push up your sleeves and get ready to dive into the pit. It's time for Sitting with the Slimy Bastards, Music Edition.
So, welcome to another edition of Slimy Bastard Podcast Show. And today's guest I'm honored to have on. This was actually one of my ideas of doing podcasting and getting into doing what I'm doing. This next guest of mine was one of the first guys I wanted to have on my podcast, just because I've known good old Tommy Bolan of NYC and Warlock for quite some time. I want to say it's almost 25 years. And we talk probably once a week, twice a week.
Yeah.
And when I pitched this by you, it's been almost 3 years now, over 3 years, even 4 years, even brought it up. And we discussed on what I was doing with my podcast and that, and I wanted you to be on one of my first guests. But with that, we were able to make it work. And yeah, here we are. So welcome to the show, man, Tommy Bolan.
Hey, Jason, how the fuck are you?
You know, it's funny that we were talking as we jumped on here of this the stuff behind me and that, but how big this banner and that is, and I got to give it a quick shout out to Slade Pitt at Pit Stop Motorsports in Rock Springs, Wyoming. He knocked it out of the park on it with me, and this has been the first time I've been able to use it. But the cool looking banner, if you guys need any stuff done with them, look them up, Pit Stop Motorsports. But Tommy, how you been, man? It's been a minute since I've seen you in person and that, but we talk all the time.
Doing good. Just been fucking keeping busy with the new record, getting ready to come out. We put out some singles already. The pre-sale starts this Friday, Halloween. Next video, Lion Eyes, comes out the week after. And the pre-sale for the digital starts the week after that. Then shortly after that will be the hard copies and the vinyl and all that stuff. Then eventually some tour dates, man. So I've been on the phone talking too much about myself. Can't stand myself anymore.
You're there in where are you, in North Hollywood or West Hollywood? Where are you at?
Los Angeles. Just call it Los Angeles.
Okay, that's all.
It's all Los Angeles. It's all ball bearings these days. Forget about
it. But being out there and that, I mean, you're knees deep into this, and I mean, you're well known into the industry and everything. And I made a comment on my Facebook page and that of you're endorsed by God and everybody. And
well, I work hard, my endorsement. These are companies like to me, it's like NASCAR mentality. My race car.
Yeah.
I mean, I get offered a lot here, but when I go with a company that makes a great product that I approach or approaches me, and then a chemistry evolves, and then if the product's great, then whether it's the most expensive amplifier or something as simple as guitar picks or a chord wrap, it all has to work. So I'm lucky I have a lot of great companies that are behind me that I'm proud to express, no doubt.
And and all the way down from guitars to amps to pedals, and I mean your Morley stuff is pretty fucking rocking.
Yeah, Morley's great. Morley has, the owners of Morley have a nickname for me. They call me a cop, K-O-P, King of Promotion. And Morley's great. That's a great pleasure when you actually get on board because you dig the product and you actually make great friends and great relationships. They've been outstanding to me. So people like Morley, Schecter, friggin' PV amplifiers, Electro-Harmonics, EMG, freaking Ovation guitars. Holy mackerel, there's a whole bunch of great companies that are involved with me right now, that I work with. Optimus Strings. I have my own signature strings. Where the heck is that?
Yeah.
Where the heck? All right.
And I think that's a video I posted with you on it the other day of your.
Oh, here. Can't find anything. Boom! Forgot about it. My own strings. These are fucking kick-ass Optimus strings. They also make the signature strings for Brian May, Randy Bachman, and Frank Zappa. These are some great strings right here. There's a lot of great companies I work with. Definitely, check my websites out. You can see the list of all the outstanding companies. Even, let's see, Celestian, PV Amps, Morley, Digitech, Affliction Clothing. A lot of people, are with me. I do a lot of stuff with.
Sure.
No doubt.
So pre-sales this Friday, starting on with the new album and that. And I gotta say, I heard this way back in what was it, the spring? I want to say, is it when you
You
sent me it?
started sent you some of the demos, but probably the finished
Yeah.
version you probably heard. Yeah, maybe a couple of months back. Yeah, something like that. There.
And
Yeah.
it was even Slutenhofer and I both said it's good. It's really,
Good.
really
Well, I'm glad you
good.
like it.
And
I'm glad you do. I mean, we're getting a lot of great responses to it. People have been digging it because a lot of people, they really never heard me sing. Plus, also I
sure.
got Ted Howland, from Wasp and Metal Church, and I got Steve Unger, who's also a Metal Church. So I got the rhythm section from Hell. So even though I wrote all the songs and produced the record, these guys came in, just put like fucking the steamroller effect on it, and just fucking
Right.
it opened up a whole new thing. So I'm really proud, and I'm looking forward to people getting to hear this stuff.
But the sound and everything. I mean, the drums are the drums are really, really good recorded. The
Yeah,
guitar
actually,
stuff is really good.
Stat says this is as this is a quote from Stat says one of the best records ever played on. And Kenny
Yeah.
Merritt did a great job engineering it. Then Robert Vosgin mastered it. So it just came out. And we got the ability to take the time with this because the journalizing media, my label and management, got behind it and allowed me to get in there because I produced the record. So we really could take the time to get it dialed in. Plus, the skill set of the people involved really just fucking took it home.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite songs you actually just dropped the other day, and you knew this as well, as Lion Eyes.
Yeah, that the actual official video comes out a week from this Friday. That's being worked on now. Your Lion Eyes, that's another great song. So it's like acoustic, gets heavy. Basically about something like everyone else sees it, but you don't. That eventually, you don't realize it. Then, the game of life kicks in, and you realize you're being lied to, and it's a scene, man. Like Seinfeld.
But did you get into that minute 20 part? I believe it is minute 23, and it just has that catchy. It sounds really, really good. It just
Oh,
has it all flows really, really good, and I think it's honestly it should be played on the radio right now. I mean, it's that.
I like where you're going with this. Feel free to tell everybody.
But another one that I liked, and you knew this as well, as Gasoline.
Yeah, Gasoline, that's another great song. I've been getting a lot of attention on that. That started out as an acoustic song, and then basically that song's about, if you ever seen the movie with Farrah Fawcett, Burning Bed, where she's a really battered housewife, and the man just the fucking devil pretty much. And eventually, like the lyrics of my song, say Temporary Insanity, she just, after just so much abuse, I mean, unbelievable abuse, she snapped and actually, poured gasoline on my sleep and set the place on fire. So that movie, when I see a certain movie, it impacts me. I'll might inspire lyrics and stuff. And I wrote the lyrics that a while ago, but I had it sitting around. And suddenly the acoustic riff came around. I started doing it in the studio with Kenny, the engineer. I finished the song. Then we brought in Vince DiCola, who's done the soundtrack for like Rocky IV, Transformers, Staying Alive, because he also does the soundtrack stuff for NR City Universe, which is the movie I'm involved with the journalizing media as well that they have. And he did a great fucking fantastic job. He played piano, and he got fucking synthesizer sound like Old Rainbow, like just fucking like big fucking just great shit. But he played exactly what the song needed, and the song builds on momentum. You can see it's getting more intense, and suddenly I'm fucking next point I'm just screaming my brains out.
Right.
And then he's like, fucking Jan Hammer going off there, fucking like Emerson, you're just losing it because he's a fantastic player, and it was great. He did exactly what the song needed. So I was happy with that.
Because like you said, it starts out with that acoustic sound and all that, and then it just gets heavy. And it's
I just gotten that guitar from Ovation, a really cool 12 string they sent me, acoustic, because I endorse Ovation, and now I'm dropping names everywhere. So get the broom, sweep it up. No, but seriously, it's a great guitar, great instrument, and then it just fucking came from there, and then the riff and just started flowing. Like I said, that's another thing with endorsement of the gear. Certain gear can actually inspire certain songs. Like I just that really does the whole thing. Different guitars that you in different places, amplifiers, and I got a good amount of really cool PV amps that I use on the album. I use a 6505 and the Triple X, and it just was fucking kicking ass. So there you go. Another plug.
So the name of the album, Heavy as Hell. The videos.
Heavy as Hell is the first single.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. But you dropped the video on that, which sounds, I mean, there again, another great song. But the video effect and what you did with the toy figures, and I'm going to get into toys and shit with you later on. But anyway, I like that concept and that. Where did that come from, Tommy?
Well, that's Journalizing Media. That's Marcus, the owner of the company. All that, he's really creative with all that stuff. He's really hands on with a lot of good stuff. With the creative element of that, me and him talk, and he knows kind of what I'm looking to do. So definitely, he comes up with a lot of great stuff, and and plus all the video itself involves also Walter Schultz, of course. He's the VFX wizard. He won the Oscar for the Martin Scorsese film Hugo. He's got like 3 or 4 Emmys. He's like just a wizard with that stuff. So he brought in what's called, like, I guess, and I don't know all this stuff, Unreal Engine UE5, which is like gaming stuff, and he managed to mesh because we have the logo on our site on the video. He managed to mesh real time stuff with the effects. He was doing stuff that I guess wasn't done or hasn't been done or something like that. I was told, and just again, people just really like yourself digging it,
Right.
So him working along with Marcus came up with some really cool stuff with some footage we had and concepts we had. Plus, it's shot in the Heaven and Hell bar, which in the movie In Our City, that's a featured place in the series, of that movie. So that's literally, we're in there, and they created it, so it's pretty fucking amazing.
So the video that you just put out a little bit, I think a couple of weeks ago, but of you guys were you changing into werewolf, or I think you were what was the character?
That's actually some promotion we're doing. That just talk about the online promotion. I turned into like this bat devil, and then Steve turns into werewolf, and Stet turns into like a vampire. That's all some stuff we just posted on our social media. We do a lot of stuff like that, just because it's just really cool, and it gets a lot of hits.
Right.
People like it, and Journalizing Media creates it, and it just looks fucking cool. So that's kind of going with the Halloween theme. Obviously, is this Friday, so.
Right. So Tommy, with this,
actually, that's what I look like. I wear a lot of. Right now, I'm wearing all the makeup. So once I get on the camera, I freak out.
For those that, like I said, I've known you for 20, 25 years. We actually met, and I had D Nuts on my podcast.
Oh, good.
That's my last episode.
Talk about all the shit I told you.
No, I mean, I'm not bringing it up. I'm just
He's
letting
digging in the dirt, folks. He's got the shovel out. He's digging in the dirt.
But that's how long I've known you. And when we actually met out on the road, we booked some shows with you.
That's the original lineup of NYC that was doing a whole different. Yeah, because I've NYC. I started, I created, then I did a lot of work with the band. I created the element of it all. But I used to have my drummer Chaz. He was very much involved a lot in the older stuff I did, and he's still one of my best friends, Chaz Pease. And but that was that's who you remember from that. We always had different bass players floating around for some reason. Yeah. But me and him were the element of that. Then when he went, we're still friends. He went and started doing some other stuff. Then I started playing with like Richie Ramone, and then I was doing some other personal stuff. Then I went back to play with Doro. Then when I met at Journalizing Media, I had the opportunity to do this. And since the band NYC was still my construct, and and I had the name, I own the name. So I figured, well, this is still me, and obviously being the voice of the band. That's where it started in the Riff Master. Did I say that? The Riff Miser. the guy making all the fucking noise. That's what it was. So but it just naturally just progressed that way. Somewhere in there's what you asked.
Well, what I was getting to, though, I mean, that's where we first met, and Jer and I actually, when we were on our last podcast, I think he even made the comment when we first got talking of how much your stage presence. I mean, it doesn't matter where the fuck you play, your stage presence is worldly. I would say even well known, well documented. I mean, I
appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, you just go fucking balls to the wall. You would have never guessed that.
But yeah, people, it's weird. People have, I work myself into a full lather. My eyes roll back in my head and I just lose it. I've always been like that. It's never been like, okay, head bang, now this. I just always been, I already got enough, caffeine in me. I'm over caffeinated New Yorker, so I'm already got that on tap. But I remember once even a Warlock story. I remember we were doing, I had we had a publicist named Victoria Strummer was her name. And she met us at we were doing some signings and stuff. And she had met me. I've been like, I'm just, polite, talking all this. And she had never seen me play. She'd heard about me, but never seen me play. And next thing I know, we played France. And suddenly I went on stage and was rolling around, going out of my fucking mind, whatever I was doing, because Warlock was pretty intense. And she came over and she goes, "What? Who the hell was that? What was that? Where was this guy?" I said, "I don't know." It's like, it's just the way I've always acted. Anybody who's seen me play, I just always play, whether I see 20 people, 20,000, I act the same. I just always have been. It's just been part of I guess who I am, I suppose.
Sure. Well, and then with that, I mean, obviously your days with Warlock and Doro and all that. So where did the concept, or where did it, I guess, the first time it happened, of where she jumped on your shoulders while you're playing and she's singing? Where did that first originate from? How'd that come about?
When we went on tour with Dio, when Triumph and Agony, the original tour, we opened for Dio through Europe, which was great. And we started thinking about doing stuff, and she had, I think the producer had this idea to do something, because obviously, me and her work very closely together, lead vocal, guitar. She wanted to be like, Bon Scotty and Angus Young. She wanted that. And I was like, yeah, I'm all for that. That was our angle. I remember we were at some bread and Beck was called the Mary Rose. And I don't know why I remember this. I remember we went, I think where the pool, but there was no water in the damn thing, if I remember, like the gym area. And we just tried her getting on my shoulders. We tried a few times there, and then suddenly it just became like a thing. And then suddenly, we just figured out how to do it. And then like I was able to play and all that stuff. And then anytime you saw it live, any pictures of me in Europe, it was always at the end of the song Earth Shaker Rock, which is always the third song in the set. And then she would get on the drum rides, I'd walk over, the lights would go out, she'd get on my shoulders, I'd turn sideways, and she'd lean back, and then I'd turn and walk to the crowd. Now, the funny part is when we started doing that again, we did it for Sweden Rock and some other places, I used to play my guitar a lot higher. So we did a rehearsal, and I realized my guitar now being low, like fucking Jimmy Page type thing. I go, when she put on my shoulders, she has to put her feet behind me to hold on. I never dropped the thing, God, knock on wood. So I wrote my guitar. I couldn't reach my guitar. I had to literally change the strap. So my guitar has two different strap buttons. So right before she gets on now, I got to run over to the tech, or I got to change my strap button to make the guitar higher. But yeah. Okay. And interesting thing is, back then she wore sneakers. Now she wears boots. So believe me, when I take my shirt off, I go, boots. But, luckily, thank God, knock on wood, I remember she was worried about, can you still hold me? I handed her my gig bag, which had two guitars in it, which my manager dubbed the Rhino of Warlock, because it weighed like 100+ pounds. She goes, I carry. She goes, you carry this? I'm doing a bad impersonation of a voice. I go, yeah. I carry this fucking gig bag like I got dead body parts in it, and just. Sure. So I said, you nothing. You weigh nothing. She's like, she weighs nothing anyway, so it's no problem. But it's always a fun moment. The fans dig it, and I've seen people put the before and after, back in the day. So the times we've done it when I've come back, to do shows, it's been pretty fucking cool. And it's on video for the live record and all that. Sure. So that's where it came from.
Because you've done a couple cruise ship shows with her as well recently. I mean, not recently, but it's been a couple of years of
Monster Rock Cruise, the Mega Cruise, and all that a couple of years ago, and did that.
So do you do it? Do you do that then too? Is it harder to do on a cruise ship? Believe it or not, on
that we didn't do it because the ship was moving.
Okay.
Because the main stage is in the front of the boat, so you can feel that, man. It's moving.
No shit.
Yeah, you feel that. Yeah, I remember jumping once, and I can anticipate my jump, and I know it. And so I go, whoa, there's more ground here, and you gotta be careful. I remember I was backstage talking to some people, and I was like going, okay, this boat's moving, right? I'm not losing my fucking mind. Because no, this boat is, because it's the main stage is in the front of the boat, so it's like feeling the ship. Now it ain't like fucking ridiculous where everyone's freaking out, but it's enough to throw your equilibrium off, And definitely with her getting on my shoulders, the stage can't be moving. One time in Houston, the stage started to move because the fucking plywood went. We were out there with us, Crocus, and Fate's Warning. And I never forget that. I go, that was the closest I ever came to an incident because the stage was not constructed well and out the stage.
So with that, those Monsters of Rock cruises and all that, you get all them bands. Do they have two stages set up for that, or how they do that?
They have a pool stage. They got some stage like a medium-sized room and a huge room. Then there's like a bar one. And there's a place we have meet and greets. There's like 3 or 4 stages in some cases, different sized rooms.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen your videos and that you posted up of it and everything.
Yeah, we played some of the big stages, and we played once, I think, on the outdoor stage too. because you can see something. You see like a boat behind me. You know? It's like fucking land. Oh, there's a fucking boat.
Right. So what would you rather? Would you rather play a gig like that, or would you much rather play a big festival?
Interesting. Well, festivals are cool, but to me, whenever you play outdoors, your sound goes everywhere. So I actually prefer indoor places because you get the natural reverb. The town's a little more. You can get a little more better handle on your sound because once you're outdoor, your sound just keeps going. Even if the audience comes in, it doesn't soak up the bass, and you're really dependent on your monitors. Of course, I mean, I'll plug into any situation. I mean, just really it's different. But the cruises are fun. They're different. I mean, you have the meet and greet. You can write a little more fan interaction. So I couldn't say I have a preference. Just yeah, honestly, to be honest, they're both. I guess if I had to flip a coin, the festival, that's pretty kick-ass. We played Wacken and Sweden Rock and Summer Breeze and Bloodstock and all those. I didn't. All the Endless Day Rock in Spain, they were really fucking nuts. They really fucking. That was a cool show. It was awesome.
I didn't I wouldn't know if the hospitality is a lot different on the cruise ships over the big festivals and that. Do you find that differently?
Or? Cruise ship is really good. The Wacken's like a giant tent to go eat. You can eat till you explode. Sweden Rock's like fucking like gourmet food practically. I remember my manager going, "This is the best food, the best festival food," because he's been to so many. My tour manager was telling me, "Yeah, this is the best food here, best one there." So I knew I got the food report before I showed up. So but in the hospitality in the cruises, you basically have the restaurants on the cruise ship. Then there's you're in the red den. You have the whole fucking restaurant, the whole menu, and everything. So the cruise ships are pretty kick ass too. They don't suck. So I'd maybe say the cruise ship because of the variety. Because you're there for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So then there's a place 24 hours a day. You just go there and just keep eating yourself to death if you want, I suppose. So I guess as far as the food quotient of the question, the boats win, I suppose, because it's nonstop stop feed.
One guy I need to get on my podcast is Marty Reese, and we know Marty for
Rocky Mountain Hardcore.
Yeah, out in Idaho, and that's actually where how we even met because we booked shows through doing stuff together and that. But I remember him always saying that. Well, I think it was him and Dusty who owned from Club Vegas.
Great guy. So sorry he passed.
Yeah, but
show passes even. He was a cool dude.
What's that? Sorry.
I used to get him NAMM show passes. He always took great care of us. He was a good guy. I miss him.
Yeah, he took care of all the bands that went through there. He fed us all really well. I mean, he had that kitchen right there.
He had a really great club. He was a big fan of a big fan of everything I did. He was a good dude. And Marty was always cool. I think I met Marty through him, and also there used to be Paul Moniz from Digitech. He used to be the releasing guy at Digitech. I knew him very. He was a good friend of mine, and he was good friends with Marty. Marty was always cool. Actually, back in the day, he made some shirts with me. Put his logo on there, that Rocky Mountain Hardcore cog, and all that stuff. So yeah, we did. I used to get him NAMM badges for NAMM and all that because he wanted to come. One year, I think he fucking went bananas with a ton of badges. But it was cool. He was always a good dude. He's a good dude. I like him.
But speaking of NAMM, I mean, you're there almost every year. If not, I'm pretty sure you've probably been there every year. But you do multiple stuff.
Maybe one or two I might have missed, but very rarely.
Yeah. When you're there, I mean, you've done some stuff with Morley Pedals.
Yeah, I played the PV booth. I played been the Digitech booth years ago. Played in the Boss booth. I played in a lot of anybody I've worked with on my endorse. I've always there jamming, doing something. And then Morley definitely always was in the Morley guy. They knew me as the Morley man. Because I kind of the owner says I look like the guy screaming on the thing with my shirt. I'm actually wearing a Morley shirt now.
Nice.
Yeah. Can't see it because my camera head's off here.
Speaking of endorsements and all that, I see the NYC guitar behind you. I haven't seen that one. I've seen your black one with
color. That's a Schecter one, and that's Insane Decals does my decals on those, and they great stuff. They do the Warlock one, which is completely wrapped, and that's a Schecter SLS Blackjack SLS with EMGs and all that. Yeah, that's a new one I'm working on right now, and it's got the top-mounted Floyd Rose on it. I'm checking out to see if I like that. Checking. But yeah, that's the reverse colors. Actually, I'm gonna have miniature guitars that soon available from Axe Heaven.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, just that's You're the first person to know it, so you got yourself a scoop.
Well,
That and $2, you're right on the bus. You're all good.
I'm still waiting for my Tommy Bolan Warlock guitar so I could have it behind me on this side over here
Yeah, well,
of
see if I can get that to you. I'm working. I got a lot of people want those. Actually, those are sold in Doro's merch shop. Actually, but
yeah.
yeah. Well, you got a lot of those Hot Wheels and Matchbox toys I want that I collect.
You
so,
know, hey, speaking of which, I want to show you this
but
here.
yeah, you got my toys over there.
You know, you've been asking about this for quite some time
that belongs to me, and the sheriff knows it. Our friend the sheriff, he heard you say it. Is that and the other one? Because I collect.
We talk because I'm a big Hot Wheel collector. So are you. We talk about this stuff quite a bit. And,
Matchbox, Hot Wheels, G.I. Joes, all that.
But it's a fun little hobby. It's not expensive at all if you get the right ones.
Look behind me. There's like London buses. But there's actually one toy from you there. That Jeep, that Matchbox Jeep you gave me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, one. That's
yeah. That I sent that. God, it's been almost a year.
That was a whole pile of like all the fucked up ones, which I like. I don't care.
Oh fuck.
They were all fucked up, but it's cool. I don't care.
Oh, fucked up.
You picked the cream.
God,
you kept the Mustang.
God, you make it sound like I just send you the garbage. I keep the gold, and then I send you the leftover scraps.
You kept the Mustang with the Roll-O-Matic engine I want, but I don't care because I got thousands of them myself anyway, so I don't mind. But those are all cool. They all remind me of good memories, good times. And it's
right.
fun. I mean that, and I collect stamps. You see stamp books behind you. That and guitar equipment, and whatever else drives me out of my mind. What the fuck? Why not?
Oh, it keeps you. You know what I mean. Everyone has their thing. That's my thing.
Enjoy hobby, man. I've always been meticulous like that with stuff, and shit. Why not? What the fuck?
G.I. Joe and all.
Yeah, I got the ones. Yeah.
Well, I was saying even a G.I. Joe locker one time.
You did. You got one at some yard sale from hell or some online sale you bought for like $10 or something. I said, my man, hook me up. You sent me the other Hot Wheels. It's cool.
I got lucky. I've been lucky on some of them.
You've been all right.
Up some stuff of
like I said, pay no attention to that black Cadillac's been following you around. It means nothing. Means nothing. I'll talk to Tony Rigatoni and coffee if you
especially in my small town, that they'll stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Pay no mind to them. They just passing through.
So Tommy, what's the plans here? Obviously, the album pre-sale, like you said, is on the 31st for the NYC.
The album coming out. The album coming out. We have actually a big feature on me coming out in Metal Hammer on the 14th with an album review. That's next month. Then we have a bunch of giveaways we're doing with all my endorses with Metal Hammer magazine and all that stuff in Germany. That takes place we're giving away a Schecter guitar. We're giving away a PV amp, Electromonics pedal, Morley pedal, Gators gig bag, Levy strap, Optimus strings, and a bunch of cool merch and all that stuff. So it'll be a whole bunch of great stuff. Oh, and Tascam, whole bunch of cool Tascam. That's another great company that's been really behind me for years. Tascam. I create all my stuff on their stuff for the album. I do all my demos. Even some of the stuff is so good done the Tascam, we actually flew it into the album. That's how good the quality.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, Tascam makes some great shit and definitely big inspirational stuff. So yeah, they're including the giveaway. We're giving away a 6-track, a porta capture, all this. That'll all be publicized, and over the next couple of months we'll be talking about that big time.
Sure.
So the next thing, question tour. Yes, we're talking to booking agents now. We're gonna hit the ground running. We're already talking to some people, and we're waiting to see what pans out, what makes sense. Because obviously you can't just go do one show and fly home. You got to have a bunch. So we're working with CMM over in Europe. We have John Freeman Promotions here in America. Publicity and Mundy Rich of a Skateboard Bargain. So they're gonna help build all the machine up. Then we all know a lot of the same people, and of course with the Warlock Wasp Metal Church name, we got a couple of angles we can pursue that way too. So some good shit coming up.
Yeah, and I from me talking to you quite a bit, I mean, I always hear kind of the inside of what you got going on and everything. So with this pre-sale going on, what's that all entail? Are you doing any bundle packets or bundles or what are you doing?
Go to nyctheband.com for any type of bundle packs. Like, for example, all these songs are available as a digital single. There's a special digital single available at nyctheband.com, which includes like this lyric sheet printed out on the back of what looks like the toy box you were talking about. So and plus we have a lot of cool merch at nyctheband.com. We got shirts, coffee mugs, jogging pants, pillows, puzzles, all sorts of cool fucking shit. Hats, beanies, all this shit that are journalizing media, orchestrated together. And we got even more coming. But there'll be some packs and all that stuff available that coming up. That's all going to be eventually. But right now, once the single's available, if you want to get your hands on it, you can you can download, Built to Destroy, Heavy as Hell right now, and also Lionage you'll be able to. Then with the pre-sale, that allows you to get it, and then it comes right out, and then you're all set, and then you got all 13 songs. That saves you a couple.
When guys go and they stream your songs and that, like I have YouTube Music and that, or guys that are on Pandora or Spotify or whatever.
Right.
Do you go in and do you track that pretty heavily of where your plays are?
We can if we want to. I know my management takes care of a lot of that. I'm too much out of my mind doing shit, but I'm hands on with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
I haven't looked lately, but I know it's doing pretty good from what I've been told. But
Sure.
but yeah, management's on top of that. Plus, CMM publicizing it through Europe and all that. Our stuff deals with them a lot, going through them and all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Where are you seeing a lot of the plays coming from then?
I'd have to. I honestly don't know right now. I'd have to ask.
I just find that I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just I just find that shit kind of interesting. Of what I mean?
I know.
Because if you got the Midwest, because that it almost would make sense of how you would set up a tour, right?
Sure. Yeah.
If you got a lot of play in the Midwest and you're
recon all that, the strength of a tour, is when your booking agent does research, talking to promoters. There's been a lot of hype about the band, or they know the band, or they're already fans of the members, or dug it. Then of course if you have coverage in a lot of magazines or a lot of podcasts, and you're all over the joint, that makes the most difference. I mean, where the song's being played stream, yeah, that's good to. You always inform your promoter or your booking agent of that, of course. So yeah, as we get closer to that, we'll be in lockstep with our promoters and booking agents, of course. So yeah, we'll right now the songs are just out for such a short time, so we're waiting to get more built on that. But we're getting good responses and we're seeing good stuff.
Yeah, and it's not like what it was, say, 30 years ago, where you're just shooting in the dark and you just show, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sure you saw that, right?
The industry's changed in tons of ways. It's not even the same business anymore. It's fucking completely different. So yeah, the internet has helped in some ways. It's hurt in a lot of ways, to say the least.
Yeah.
But it's definitely helped as far as like you can recon and see, where you're getting the most angles, the most hits. Obviously, just needless to say, Europe, with my history at Warlock, will be definitely a place we'll definitely be tapping into and looking at.
So is it with that? I wanted to hit on this, Tommy, because me knowing your past and everything, and bands you've been involved with. One of them I actually didn't even have a clue you were a part of until Slutenhofer brought it up. Is Freight Train Jane.
Freight Train Jane.
Yeah, and fantastic album. I mean, it's very playable today.
Yeah, well, that album's called Hallucination. That was engineered by Pat Reagan, who did a lot of stuff with Kiss. He did some stuff with Kiss, and he also did I think he does all Richie Blackmore stuff, Blackmore's Night. But yeah, that was Jamie St. James from Black and Blue. And right after I had left Warlock and he left Black and Blue and all that, we met, were introduced, and like within 2 weeks I moved to Los Angeles, started the band. And we had, that album we put out, and actually, it was a really great album. We had a lot of praise on it. It was done on, I think, Alpha Brunette, which is, I guess, Toshiba EMI in Japan and all that. And you can still find it on the internet and all that stuff. I still have people bring out for me to sign. And it was a great album. It was a really great album. Just obviously the industry was going crazy back then. We had Barbara Streisand's manager. We had Tom Werman set to produce this. We had friggin' David Grudick. He just did that big Motley, huge $35 million. We had everybody short of Jesus. We were the best unsigned band in the nation. Shows my ass cap. We had the Concrete Forum. So we had everything behind this band. It's insane. And the band was good. The band had some good shit going, great songs, but just like anything, just business, man. If you can't connect all the dots, and it just is what it is. Unfortunately, it's like maybe a lame answer, but that's kind of like one I can really live with these days, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, because
I'm proud of it. I dig it.
Yeah, you should be, because I mean it's a great album. I mean, it could be played today, and you would never known it was made. What year did that come out? What, 92,
I don't even remember.
93?
Back the 1800s or something. I have no idea. The bottom line is it's a good album. It had got a lot of attention to it, and it's a shame it didn't blow up more. We came very close to doing something great with that.
Yeah.
Would you not pay electric bill? What the fuck just happened?
No, guarantee you what's going on here is my kids are fucking around with me, or my wife is fucking around with me on something here.
But now
So that's what's going on.
You're all green. You went all green. Up.
She totally fucked it all up here.
Yeah, you keep changing
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
You're turning. He's
God
turning
damn.
blue.
Leave it to her to fuck it all up. And that's the thing here.
Now you're yellow.
Yeah.
You got a show going on. What are you on
She's-
stage? Talk about my stage presence. Look at you. You're on stage performing.
Yeah. There. Just leave it at.
You
But
just-
no, Tommy, I do appreciate your time and everything,
Of course, anytime.
and I look forward to seeing you out on the road and what this is going to do for you. If there's anyone that needs, or I shouldn't say needs, that deserves a break, is this guy right here, because I mean, the dedication and what he does on stage and everything is night and day to what a lot of guys do anymore. And anymore, guys phone shit in. I mean, you could tell it when they're up on stage. And and I'm not saying a lot of guys do that. I'm just saying, but for real talent, you get up there and you give 110% every night. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have to concur with you on that. I appreciate that. I work hard. I've been doing this, shit. It's all I've ever done. So, I definitely, definitely put my all into it. Definitely, it's who I am, I suppose. No doubt.
Yeah, but and it shows up. I mean, this new album, it sounds fantastic, and I wish you the best of luck with it, because it does. You can tell the work you put in it. You got class act musicians, one of them who I've had on my podcast before.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I sincerely do wish that for you, and I know Slutenhofer wanted me to tell you the same of the best of luck with it.
Yeah,
I got
the sheriff's patch on my damn jacket. So yeah, tell him.
Yeah, Wright County's finest.
It's right there in the front of my jacket.
He's wondering if you're going to bring that up or not. And I think didn't he send you one of them coins too?
Yeah, I have his coin. Yeah, I have the coin because he's a sheriff. Yeah, I have that. Yeah, it's actually over in the kitchen on the table.
Yeah, that's what I thought of, because I know he doesn't give them out to anybody. So
no, I appreciate that. Yeah, well, I don't put just anybody's patch on my jacket either. But I mean, no,
I don't see my band logo, or I don't see my podcast logo on your basket either.
Well, if you can ever fix your lighting, maybe you can make one.
Well, I know it's got all jacked up.
Actually, on one of my old tour shirts, I had Club Vegas, Dusty's club, actually, from the back.
Did you?
The old shirt, yeah. If you happen to have one of those NYC shirts, it has that on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I used to put my horses would put logos in the back and be part of the promotion.
Yeah.
So it was all
well, next time, Tommy, with all your endorsement deals, if you meet up with any guys that does stage lighting, if they could help me out, I probably could use a couple more lights up here on the sides. But it's a work in progress. I think it's turned out pretty cool. But
pretty good. As soon as you get that light, as soon as you pay electric,
I'm missing two things: one more light, and then Tommy Bolan guitar on this side. So
there you go. I'm missing a stack of Hot Wheels over here. And those Matchbox.
Hey, I actually have a couple up here of they're one of them's that Camaro Treasure Hunt.
Well, you're big on all. I just like, if I like the way it looks, I that's my thing. I mean, to me, I'm just like, I never really went. But I mean, I found a few of those, but I never. Some people jump out of windows, like when you told me that Batman, the blue Robin egg Batman car was rare, and that roller coaster one with the kids' hands up, kids' hands down. I got a fucking those now. I figured, I kept seeing going, this is what he's talking about, because like it's an impulsive thing to buy,
Yeah. Real quick, Tommy, I wanted to ask you this before I get you out of here: is your top 5 albums of all time? What would they be?
Well, Kiss Alive 1, that's definitely got to be in there. That definitely impacted me a lot when I was younger. And, hearing Ace Frehley play and just the whole band and the visual, all that made me want to be a performer. Then, let's see. Well, Led Zeppelin 4 is a great album. And Led Zeppelin 2, those, my first playing of guitar, my brother owned the stereo, so he was always playing, all the Zeppelin stuff. So I learned my blues base of stuff from him. And then you'd have to pick up, either, Deep Purple, Machine Head, or Made in Japan. Richie had the more exotic type scale playing. So I took 2 of those. And then after I heard Frank Marino Mahogany Rush live, his live record, the way he plays, the intensity playing fast, I took my blues, Blackmore, his thing, and I'm not even saying I'm these guys, by the way. That gave me the energy, and those are some of my top albums right there.
Okay. And if what would you say would be number one then?
I have to say Kiss Alive one.
Would you?
Yeah, I bought this. I mean, Destroy is a great album, but Alive one covers all the ground. If you're gonna pick one album to listen to, that's got from the entertainment factor, you can hear it. You got the crowd. You got Freely had a great tone. Like he had these artificial harmonics. We really choke up. It almost sounded like three-dimensional the way he would do it, for my taste. And just great songs. Parasite. 100,000 Years, and just fucking all great song. Watching You. Forget about it. All great stuff. Deuce. Shit. Go on and on. I mean, everyone knows the record. That to me had the most impact. Both is when I saw Just Metal, just wasn't much. It was like it was a show. It was entertainment. It was rock and roll. It was whatever the fuck you want it to be, and it encompassed everything. To me, that was the one that had the most impact of, like, I guess to me as a player and a performer.
Mm-hmm.
You look at them on stage, like they're fucking losing it. I mean, bombs are going off. I always freaked out. Freely had the guitar backwards. I'm like, how the fuck's he playing that? He got the, I'm like, then Simmons like, I'm like, holy shit, So just that was like, as I first thought, I discovered that before I discovered guitar, because I did a fake Kiss show. I say fake, I mean I dressed up in makeup. There's the pictures of this on my Instagram. I dressed up like Gene Simmons. We sold tickets. I cut out cardboard guitars. I didn't know what the fucking bass was. I was playing lefty for some fucking reason. So I did Simmons, had my mother's boots on, painted. We came in some backyard. We put up white sheets. We went to Baskin Robbins, got the old empty ice cream bins, painted them like drums, taped them together. It's a fucking nightmare. It's terrible. But all the friends of the neighborhood came, and fucking. Right. I remember I started this. Tickets were like 25 cents, what the fuck it was. But a week later, I went and decided to start playing guitars. I was so into it. But I'll never forget, I was working so hard on doing this. And I remember as I was going out the door, I heard my mother say to my father that I would walk past their bedroom. And that was the day of the show. All the rehearsing, the prep. I had the boots, the whole fucking thing. And my mother said to my father, "Do you ever see a kid work so hard in your life?" And that's been my work ethic since then. Because once I put down the cardboard guitars and we put away the ice cream crap, then I started playing guitar. And then I started, taking lessons. At like 6 months, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. And at 6 months, I had a breakthrough. And 2.5 years later, I was asked to be a teacher at that same school. So then suddenly I went from teaching there through high school. Next thing you know, I'm in Warlock. So it was fucking nuts.
Did you audition for Warlock?
The Warlock story, the producer of Warlock was Joey Bowen, and he was producing my band, a band called Venus with a V. Okay. And then he started working with Doro, as I heard talk of this because he knew my singer, Willie. And then Joey produced our demos, and Joey really liked the way I played guitar. That's putting it, mildly almost, to be honest. Because he really loved my energy, the way I played, going nuts, the theatrics of my style, whatever the fuck. I'm not trying to be an ego guy, but he dug it. Let's put it that way. Turns out he had been talking to Doro about me for like 2 months. I got this kid in New York. He's drug free. He's crazy. He plays guitar. That's all he does. He's blah 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 blah. And I didn't know this. Then one night, my singer comes calls me up and goes, "Look, Joey Bowen wants you to call." My singer Willie calls me and goes, "Hey, Joey Bowen wants you to call him at 1 a.m." I go, 1 a.m. He goes, "Yeah, 1 a.m." So I'm like, shit, that's got to be fucking important. So a guy like Joey Bowen doing all shit says call at 1 a.m. You fucking call at 1 a.m. Because he was a staff, super cool dude, just like great musician, all this shit. So I call him at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I say, "Joey, hey, it's Tommy. What's up, man?" And he goes, "Hey," and then now I'm Irish Italian, so he's total Italian, Brooklyn. So he goes, "Hey, Tommy, how you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, Tommy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm working with Doro. Maybe you come down, you play on some of the tracks. Bring all your guitars, bring all your amps." I go, "Bring everything?" He goes, "Bring everything." I had like 6 stacks and 20 some odd guitars that I'd worked my ass off to get. Because when I worked in a music store, I get shit really cheap. Used feeling and dealing gear. So I go, "Bring everything." And he goes, "Yeah, you come down, you play, you see how it goes. Then you hire a van, I'll pay for it." And then he goes, and here's the linchpin. He says under his breath, I could hear he pulled the phone away because I could hear people in the background. He goes, "Look, this could be good for you, really good for you." And when he said that, I'm like, whoa. So I broke out the headphone amp, played for like 3 hours, and then went the next day. And we played 3 songs. They brought in East Meets West, Make Time for Love, and what was the fucking other one? Make Time for 3 minutes. Maybe it was 3 Minute Warning. I'm not even sure. Might have been. Fuck, I'm forgetting. My God, I have to think more on it. But I know definitely East Meets West was there, and Make Time for Love. I remember what I did in those demos, like my first draft of playing. I was later, like about 80% of my ideas, 85. They said recreate that for the album. So, because Joey had a way of working, he go, Tommy, give me something to eat, give me some bluesy thing here, or fill in here, or give me some ad lib here, or play this. And I remember Dora walking the studio. We were at the power station. This is where Michael Bolton's recording, and Cher's upstairs, Michael Bolton's downstairs. This is like top shelf fucking joint. So I'm like, whoa, what the fuck, So I'm in the other room playing and shredding. I see her walk in, and I'm like in fucking complete nut mode. And I see her looking at me like this, because I'm in a studio. So then I come in, I meet her, and I start playing. I start playing the songs. I start improvising, and Doro loved what I did. She absolutely loved what I did. And the next thing I know, she goes, and I'll do her voice very badly. Goes, do you want to play on an album? I go, sure. She goes, and then she starts clapping. Because Doro is very animated and very happy. And then she's talking in German with the manager. And then Joey Bolan pulls me in the hall. He goes, look, dude, you're doing great. You're going to Germany. You're doing the record. You're making me proud. He was happy as shit. So I finished the rest of the songs. I did the songs, and I still have the demo sleeves. I still have these tapes, and yeah, I listen to them every now and I go, wow, that's pretty cool. And then the next day, Joey Bolan calls me and goes, hey, Tommy, they fucking love what you did. Everything's fucking great. The president of Germany is all excited and this and that, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Then the next day he calls me and goes, Tommy, come into Manhattan. I got a surprise for you. Come fully dressed. So I got on the leathers, did the 220-volt haircut, the whole fucking 9 yards. And I went to this like 98th floor of some building that was in the clouds somewhere on 8th Avenue. And I sat down, and there's Doro, there's Joey Bolan, and there's the manager, and he goes, and he's going on and on. He goes, hey, I've heard great things about you. I love the table, I love this. Doro loves the band. And then she goes, do you want to join Warlock? We want you to join Warlock. And I go, yeah. And then Doro starts clapping again, and I goes, okay, great. Then my whole life changed. Okay, you're doing this, you're doing that, blah, blah. We're going to watch you move to Manhattan. Oh, and they go, by the way, you can't tell nobody for 2 weeks. So I'm like, what? So I couldn't tell nobody because they had unfinished business with the other guitar player hadn't sorted out. Because, this is when everything was changing and all this shit. And subsequently, obviously, the result was great because that album was the biggest record of, the whole time for her. And I did all the guitars and all that. So, because we'd be me, her, and Joey Bolan working on, because there was so many musicians who played on it, studio musicians, but yeah, that's how I got into it. It was, obviously, I'm very proud of it. And that's the long answer to the story.
Well, you should be. I mean, it's like you said, it is a great album. It's an album. In fact, a buddy of mine here in Northwood, Steve, who you sent some stuff to him before. They used to ride around and play your stuff all the time. That's what you did back then. I mean, even cruise around town and listen to music.
Yeah, Decibel Magazine, like 2 years ago, put it into their Hall of Fame because it was always in their top 100 all-time metal albums. So they did a big interview with us, me and Doro, and 7 pages, and some of the other people played on it. So I was very proud of it. Yeah, obviously, I'll always be the guy from Warlock, which is fine with me. That's good. When you think of Warlock, start screaming all we are, and I'm like, all right, that works. I mean, at the time, it was just, it was such a natural progress the way that album came about. It was just, it's just so, it was very easy to create what I was doing. It was very relaxed, and it was, it was good times.
Blutenhofer wanted me to ask you, I believe it was you that was talking about when before you worked at that music store that you sold guitars and that you worked on the corner of Mango with Mango Mary's there selling mangoes.
Selling mangoes? What the fuck kind of horse shit is this? He's out of his fucking mind. What is he? Is he smoking that shit? What the fuck's wrong with him?
Mango Mary's is what he said. He said remind Tommy. Ask Tommy about Mango Mary's. Pretty sure he was selling mangoes on the corner with Mango Mary's down there in the corner of L.A.
I think he's at the bottom of a Jameson's bottle right now. I think him and Jack Daniels having a bit too much fun.
Yeah, he got tied up. He tied one up a while back, but no, he's pretty low key like all of us. So Anyway, Tommy, I appreciate your time and thanks for joining me. Finally, we were able to get it worked, and I'm glad.
There you go.
Like I said, you wanted to wait till the album was done and stuff was rolling with it.
Yeah,
It works out
yeah.
perfect, and I was glad we are able to connect and make it work. So,
Of course.
with that being said, best of luck with it. Best of luck with the pre-sale. You guys go check it out. The pre-sale drops on this Friday. Well, I guess when I put this podcast out, it'll already be out, but it's October 31st that the pre-sale drops.
Mhm.
And you could go to Tommy Bolan's Facebook page, NYC, the band Facebook page, all the social media links, and I'll have them posted up there with all this as well. And with that, Tommy, thanks again, my friend. And thanks to Gary and Outdoor Image
Cool.
with all the support and everything. And with that, till next time, toodaloo, buckaroo.